Everyone is extraordinary once you really get to know them. And the problem with some characters is that it would take a very long story for that to actually happen. And this is why the most memorable characters tend to be larger than life in some way. Ebenezer Scrooge is a miser drawn in extremes. We recognize those extremes easily when they're highlighted by someone like Charles Dickens, so we find Scrooge fascinating and familiar. I've known humbugs all my life, though none as blatant about it as old Scrooge. For that matter, I've probably been the miser at times. Yet I don't belong in a Charles Dickens novel, or really in any novel. I'm too normal. My good and my bad traits aren't extreme enough to be entertaining or enlightening. For a really great story hero, you need to pick someone who stands at the edge of humanity and wonders what the rest of us are doing. If the dots in this black circle represent different degrees of normal, these are people you don't want to pick for your main characters. Instead, write about this guy, and occasionally throw in a few of these guys. That's what most of the writers you love are doing, and it's why you love what they do. You don't want to read about ordinary people, you want to read about someone weird and fascinating and unusual, even if your favorite characters do have a veneer of normality. That's why you're reading this stuff instead of living it. You know intuitively that being a super spy is not just beyond most of us, it's probably a really horrible life to experience. But reading about it? Well, that's the fun part. And if that's what you like to read, that's what your readers want you to write. Great characters are usually people of extremes.